content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallik. Welcome to Daily with Doc and Becca. The content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. The FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any diseases. As an empowered individual, you have options available. We are honored to have one of the founding fathers. Open up the doors. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily with Doc. We'll give just a few minutes and let everybody get joined in and get their audio connected. Just want to thank you all for being here today. So my name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I am so excited to be able to welcome you to another opportunity where we are able to ask one of the founding fathers of the science of epigenetics our questions to help guide us on our health journey to optimal health. Now, if you are here with us today and you have never spoken with anybody about longevity, this program is sponsored by dailywithdoc.com, which is a website that is available with all of the replays from our previous shows, including the Daily with Doc, Ask Doc Live, Ask Doc Daily, and also the Q&A with Pharmacist Ben, plus other helpful information that gives you empowering information so you can do health and wellness. We're not into sick management, okay? We're into wellness, right, Dr. Wallach?
That is correct. We're on the positive side of the scale.
That's right. We're on the positive side of the scale. And with that positive side of the scale, I still have to remind you that the content of this program is to provide nutritional education information only. This program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. And the FDA requires us to let you know that our products are not meant to diagnose, treat, or prevent, or even cure any diseases. But as an empowered individual, you have options available. And we are honored to have one of the founding fathers of epigenetics here to guide us with the best options. And I can say personally, the best options, because I tried a lot of options, spent a lot of money, and was getting sicker and sicker. But we have today the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health. And here to guide us, we have the one and only Dr. Joel Wallik, who his education, and it's not just book knowledge, folks, it's in the field knowledge, where he has taken his own research and the research of others, he has implemented it and put it into practice as a doctor of veterinary medicine and as a naturopathic physician. Now, part of this research included his 3 postdoctorates in pathology, where he has done over 27,000 autopsies on 452 different species of animals. And I myself am included in those 452 species of animals, and so are you. So Dr. Wallik, welcome to Daily with Doc. So excited to have you here for another episode of empowerment.
Well, thank you for Rebecca, and thank you, team, for being together today is Monday through Friday now, 5 days a week. We're very, very proud of the team, and the following and the fellowship is certainly growing. That is for sure. I'm getting calls all the time from all over the place, all over the world, literally. And so we're very excited about that because we are going to have an enormous positive impact. And as you point out, this is something that is, which I say is a growing community of people who say, okay, enough is enough. I went to doctors for years and years and years and continually spiraling downwards. And I tried this nutrition stuff and it worked. Surprise, surprise. Okay. And so today I want to talk about past President Jimmy Carter, who's 98 years old, and he's staying at home. His doctors wanted him to, quote, do hospice in the hospital with nurses and technicians running in and out 24 hours a day and all this kind of stuff. He said, no, I'll just go home and do my thing. And so I don't know why he's in hospice. They didn't say what things he has other than, he's 98 years old. Does he have some disease that we're going to find out about when he passes years from now or tomorrow, or we don't know any of that in detail. But one of the things, I spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks going over Jimmy Carter's dietary background. He's 98 years old. All other presidents, their life expectancy on the average is 78.7. So he's already lived 10 years longer. No, I take that back, 20 years longer than the average president, okay? And according to the medical doctors, he did everything wrong. For breakfast, he would eat grits every morning with eggs. Grits are a kind of a corn porridge, no wheat, barley, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no pancakes, no waffles. Let's see here. He loved dairy. He would have milk and cheese in all forms. Okay, he'd have round cheese, he'd have sliced cheese, he'd have cream cheese, cottage cheese. He was big on cheese with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the eggs were a big thing with him. Very important source of cholesterol. That's a good thing. And then he also, for lunches, would eat shellfish, and he's shellfish, because he lives kind of on the east coast of Georgia. He eats shellfish with vegetables. And then in the evening, he would have steak, okay, and kinds of vegetables and that kind of stuff. And he loved ice cream. Okay, he was big on peach ice cream. I think it is peach ice cream was his favorite. Okay, so he and I are in the same booth there. I love ice cream. And I like the Rocky Road because it's got nuts and it's got fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. And I like the Rocky Road, and it has cheese and stuff like that in there also. And I tried very hard. I've looked and looked and looked and looked and asked and looked and asked and looked to see if he took any vitamins and minerals. I can't find anywhere where he even took a vitamin C tablet or anything like that. He might, and he doesn't want to say anything because he doesn't want to give any unsolicited support to some particular company or something. but I can't find anywhere where he even said, I take vitamins and minerals. None of that. Okay. And I think that's kind of interesting. He did have a hip replacement surgery some years ago. Now that's interesting. So that tells me he did have either a circulation problem or an arthritis joint problem. All right. And so maybe he was not getting enough calcium or enough something. Okay. So I had the hip problem. Did he have actually osteoporosis of the skull? We don't know these things because they're not revealing any information about his current health issues. But I think it's fascinating. He's 98 years old and he chose to go home. That way he could be with his kids and grandkids and his family and his wife and all this kind of stuff, instead of being surrounded by technicians and doctors and nurses and all this kind of stuff. It seems so impersonal. So I think he made a wise choice and continued doing the things that got him to be 98 years of age. He's the only president that's had a Nobel Prize of any kind. His was Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, got to be proud of that. And he's a big fan of fishing and hunting. He makes his own wine. Okay, he does make wine, and so that's kind of interesting. And so he's a beyond average human being because of his food choices. He doesn't eat fried chicken. I mean, he comes from Georgia, and he doesn't eat fried chicken. He doesn't eat fried potatoes. He doesn't eat any of that kind of stuff. I didn't see. He did say that he ate saltine crackers, which he would eat some of his cottage cheese and liquid cheese and milk and stuff with. But I think he liked it because of the salt and so forth. But if he eats 2 crackers a day or 2 crackers 3 days a week, that's not enough gluten to cause a major problem. He was not having waffles for breakfast every morning. He was not having buckwheat pancakes for breakfast every morning. He's not having spaghetti with lunch every day. Okay, he's having shellfish and vegetables, and so it's showing. Okay, in his lifespan. Okay, it's kind of like how I eat, and I'm 83 going on 84, and most people think I'm in my 50s. Okay, or at the worst, early 60s, but most people think I'm in my 50s. And it's one of those things where when they're cutting my hair, the barber, I said, show me the hair. They cut my hair and they show me handfuls of black hair. Okay. And 83 going on 84. So I'm very, very proud of that. And I've had no prescription drugs except for 3 days when I fell in a construction trench up in Canada. It was punctured by rebar, and they gave me IV antibiotics for 3 days. That's the only time in my life I've been on prescription drugs for 3 days. Those IV antibiotics. Okay. And so it's one of those things where other than that injury, I don't have any infirmities. I don't have any diabetes. I don't have any high blood pressure. I don't have any arthritis. I have all my own teeth except one where 3 guys in a mall tried to take my packages from me. We had a fist fight and they knocked out one of my teeth. But 3 against 1, I still chased 2 of them away, got one on the floor and did big damage to that guy. Okay. And so the thing I want to point out here is we have even the U.S. Senate in 1936 knew we were in trouble. In 1936, the U.S. Senate came out and said, in U.S. Senate document 264, we no longer have sufficient nutritional minerals in our farm cells to support long and healthy human life. This all happened because of a transition that happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, when Thomas Edison pulled the switch and we went from wood and coal as fuel for thousands and thousands and thousands of years for electricity. 18 years later, by 1900, we had all these diseases that doctors were saying were genetic. No, they were just nutritional deficiency disease. And then by 1936, the reason why we knew we were in trouble, they had all these hydroelectric dams making electricity, and there was no more bottomland. Previous to the hydroelectric dams, every year when the snow and ice would melt up in the mountains, it would come down and bring silt with them. And when the water would recede after the floods, the silt would be plowed back in the soil and renew the soil that the plants had taken the minerals out of the previous year. Well, once we had those hydroelectric plants with all those dams, no more floods, no more bottomland, no more renewal of the soil. And that's when we became in trouble. And that's when even the U.S. Senate recognized it. All the story of the transition from our historical 3,000 years of using wood and coal as fuel to the transition to electricity. And electricity has been the downfall of human life. Now, it's been a great boon for manufacturing. It's been a great boon for industry. But guess what? When it comes to human life, electricity has killed more people than all the wars we've been involved in the history of the world. So this, the history of this transition, you can look at the transition 3,000 years ago to now, okay, both in words and pictures. Hell's Kitchen, named after that district in New York City where every bad thing happened. So it was an obvious name for the book, for the transition from wood and coal as fuel to electricity. And then, of course, the epigenetics, as Rebecca talked about. Okay, epigenetics, that's me with my rhesus monkey that I discovered the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis in, supposed to be a genetic birth defect in, there you go, birth defect in humans.
Let me help you, Doc.
Yeah, there you go, thank you. That's me with one of my monkeys, okay, and they fired me because they said it wasn't genetic, and that's when I went back to school and became a physician. And of course, my newest book just came out about, I don't know, a week or 10 days ago, whatever it is, thank you, the Wallik revolution. And it kind of summarizes 75 years of all my discoveries, okay, all my discoveries, and it goes into these diseases that are said to be genetic or not, you know, diabetes and high blood pressure and heart disease and thyroid issues and Alzheimer's disease, MS, Parkinson's disease, all these things, lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, everything you can think of, deafness, dizziness, ringing in the ears, you name it. These are all nutritional deficiency diseases, and they're outlined in great detail in this book, The Wallik Revolution. And people need to, which they say, this is kind of a summary of the 21 best-selling books we have. And of course, the newest book is this one that Rebecca is holding up there, The Wallik Revolution. And it's like crazy, okay, because this is a summary of my 21 best-selling books. We've got 3 more new books coming out here in the next weeks, okay? And so the information is there. It's all in your head. 37 different diseases from osteoporosis to the skull. There you go, okay? On page Roman numeral 6, which is the beginning of the book, okay? And Rebecca and Dr. Milan and myself, the 3 of us put together the book and the CD. The CD came out a year after the book came out, so we had a lot of feedback to add to it. The top skull is a 1/4 of an inch thick. It's normal. The bottom skull is osteoporosis of the skull. It's 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick, squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and also squeezing the spinal cord and causing all these terrible diseases and stuff that doctors say are genetic, which are not. Okay, there you go.
So, Dr. Wallik, I want to say something about this because we were looking at x-rays of a skull the other day. In fact, I think it was yesterday. And you could see the thickness because they had a side-by-side what it's supposed to look like and then what this individual's looked like. And you could see a significant difference.
Yes, it was an inch thick at least.
This
Yeah,
dramatic.
Yeah.
But there was a significant difference in the thickness of the wall of the skull. So it was kind of neat to see that firsthand. And that was just an x-ray.
Yeah, it'll cause dizziness, vertigo, balance problems where you need a walker and all kinds of stuff. It'll cause blindness that they're blaming on, you know, your eyes are getting old. You have to expect that, blah, blah, blah. You lose your hearing. It also causes AFib, atrial fibrillation. There's nothing wrong with your heart, but the skull is squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which is causing your heart to beat irregularly. They want to do ablation, which has one of the worst possible records of any medical treatment. It has the highest death rate of any medical treatment. You don't want to get an ablation when you have AFib. Contact us. We'll help you get rid of your osteoporosis of the skull, and the AFib goes away. Not a heart problem. Heart symptoms, but not a heart problem. And we have, just imagine, 37 different diseases from osteoporosis of the skull. Okay? You have to remember that your jaw is also part of your skull. TMJ joint, you know, temporal mandibular joint, osteoporosis here. You get receding gums, your loose teeth. They want to give you 16, 17, 18 years old. You already have osteoporosis of the skull. And they want to give you braces and that kind of stuff to hold your teeth in there. And they want to take out your loose teeth and put in implants and stuff like that because of osteoporosis of the skull. And my giveaway, okay, the thing that I always ask people, how many times a night you wake up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. Oh God, I wake up 5 to 10 times a night. Okay. Well, that's because the skull is squeezing the spinal cord. The spinal cord is telling your urinary bladder to urinate. And my doctor says it's a prostate problem. And I had to remind him that I was a girl and I don't have a prostate gland. And the doctor said, oh, I forgot. Well, doctors don't know anything about osteoporosis of the skull. I'm the guy that figured this out. And it's in the book and in the CD that Rebecca and I did. So you want to get that set, the book and the CD. It's all in your head. 37 different diseases, okay, that you can reverse with a supplement program and getting rid of the bad foods.
Well, and this is one of my favorite pages, Dr. Wallik. This is a page that goes over each of the 12 cranial nerves, where it attaches here in the brain, and then what part of the body it actually attaches to. So you can get kind of a visual of, okay, that nerve is affecting this cranial, or that squeezing of the nerve is affecting this cranial nerve. So I love the graphics in this book, Dr. Wallik. You've got
Thank you.
Here where you go down through each one of them and it lists multiple different common diseases. And then each chapter goes through more in depth the nerves. So folks, you can get this book at drjwallick.com, the book and CD set. There you will find all of Dr. Wallick's publications, his books, his CDs. We also have digital downloads there for some of our ebooks, and his most popular book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, is in Spanish and English, and the CD has been translated into 9 different languages. So I'm looking forward to having more of Dr. Wallick's publications in different languages, because it's more than just those who speak or understand English that need to hear this information. We care about anybody and everybody. Dr. Wallik cares about everybody. So with all of his travels, he has been able to see a lot of territory, Dr. Wallik, on this great big earth.
Yeah, I've been blessed, that's for sure. I spent 2 years in Africa on the White Rhino Project. My book, my first book, the Rhino Express, there was only 350 left. There you go. There's only 350 white rhino left in southern Africa. And Marlon Perkins, the old Mutual Omaha Kingdom show, sent me there to save the white rhino. I caught 200 of them, sent them back to the United States to be in wild animal parks and zoos. So if the rest of them died, we'd have, at least living examples. But we built several different wild animal parks for the white rhino and did things, get more water supplies and stuff like that, and more shade in there. And today, that was in 1965 through 67, okay? And today there's 21,000 they've counted. So they've gone from 350, I caught 200 of them, 350 to 21,000 today by actual count. We were so breathless and so proud we were able to save the species by doing all that work. And of course, the history and how we caught those rhino, we had to train them for like 8 weeks to live in a box. Okay. And we clean up, they drop their droppings in the back of the box. Okay. And we would feed them in the front of the box. And we had to teach them how to be in that box for 8 weeks, because it would take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks on the ocean to get to the United States. And so it's one of those miracle things. And we had drugs that were 10,000 times more potent than morphine in our darts. Prior to that, the darts were as big as a flashlight. Okay, it was like hitting with a shell from a cannon. But when we got it down to, it was called M99 etorphine, and it had an antidote. We could knock them down, put the box in front of them, put a rope around their head, through the box out the front. We give them the antidote. They kind of wake up, stumble around. We push them in the box and close the door behind them. We had them. Okay. And the dart was as big as a AAA battery. So it went from the size of a flashlight to a AAA battery. And and we had an antidote for it. And so it was really, really a great system we had. And so very, very proud of that. It just makes you breathless when you think that we were able to save that species from 350 now to 21,000.
Well, I love the fact that you took into consideration and you took steps that helped to reduce the trauma that happened during that whole event, because that would be something to be big and free.
Well, and you had to wait hours for them to recover from the anesthesia because we didn't have an antidote. Okay, this way, when we had them all ready to go, we'd given the antidote and they'd pop right up, and so they're only out for maybe a half hour or something like that instead of for 3 hours.
Right. So folks, if you have young readers and hey, young at heart, this is a great little read. It's a little adventure book, Rhino Express by Dr. Joel Wallach and his late wife, Josephine. It's just a fun, informative book that goes through the adventures of saving the white rhino in Africa. So another book that's available at drjwallik.com. Well, Dr. Wallik, we're here on Daily with Doc, and a part of Daily of Doc is being able to have people who are on with us in Zoom, or those that have sent in their questions through dailywithdoc.com, and ask you questions, Dr. Wallik, on what we as individuals can do to help find or maintain optimal health.
Let's go for it.
And we have Grace who has her hand up. Grace, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallik.
Hey, Rebecca. Thank you. Hey, Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Grace.
I am 61 years old. I've been healthy all my life. I weighed 140 pounds until maybe 3 months ago. I know weigh 110. The diagnosis from the doctors aren't good, and I don't want to go their chemotherapy method. I've been taking your 90 for Life since August, and I bought a whole list of other items I heard on your program. And I'm a little bit nervous because I'm a teacher, and my voice, because of my accent, is easily recognizable. Nobody knows except my daughter. And so I'm wondering if there's some private consult, or should I just go for it here?
Let's just go for it here and see. Where are you from?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. And so I apologize. I didn't hear you said, do you have, what's the basic diagnosis?
They're thinking it's multiple myeloma. I did a scan on Friday with fluorine 18. So I haven't heard the results from that as yet.
Okay. Did they take a biopsy of your bone marrow?
Not yet. I don't know if I should or not. I haven't scheduled it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, when you find out, the results of the test, let us know. Okay. And so basically, what we want to do here is support your immune system. Okay. Number one, you need to get rid of all the bad foods. Okay. Yes. We have a book. It's called Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. Has over 300 pages of recipes and all that kind of stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, like with nitrates in it, like hot dogs and bologna and salami and ham and bacon. All that stuff's got to go. Got to get away from oils, cooking oils, salad dressings. Absolutely no wheat, bran, rye, or oats because they have gluten in them. No wheat, bran, rye, or oats, and absolutely no buckwheat because they have phagopyrines, F-A-G-O pyrines, which are worse than gluten. And then no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, as well as carbonated water, because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. Then it's your body weight, let's say 110 pounds. I want you to have, we're going to support your immune system here. So no matter what you got, it's going to help you. And then when we know more details, we can add to or whatever we need to do to make it more specific. But to start to support your immune system, you need to take one Healthy Brain and Heart pack per month. It has 215 nutrients in it. The core of it's still the 90. Take a half a dose of everything twice a day. get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of your cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between the vertebrae, bone breaks, including your bone marrow, where your white blood cells and antibodies are produced to go and kill and eat cancer cells and viruses and all kinds of bad stuff. So you need to really be taking care of that bone marrow, okay?
Okay.
Then collagen peptides. Go ahead and get 2 canisters per month of that. So you can take scoop at breakfast, drink, scoop at dinner, drink. I would also, let's see here, get our killer biotic, which is antibodies developed by mushrooms to go against, bad things like cancer and infections and things. I take 3 of those twice a day, even though I don't have a problem. I take 3 twice a day just for prevention of the killer biotic. Okay. And then lastly, vitamin D3, take 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month, so you can absorb all these minerals and put them in the right place. Okay. And then when you get a specific diagnosis, call us back and we can actually tinker with it and give you something more specific. But this is supporting your immune system, which is what kills cancer cells and viruses and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
So this is doable to recover.
Absolutely. That's the goal here, is to get you to recover. And how old you say you're how old?
61.
61. Okay,
Yes.
well, let's get you to 161. That's the goal here, okay?
Okay, doctor.
Okay. God bless.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, Dr. Wallach, I have a couple questions, and you had mentioned in your opening about the spleen. And one of my questions is, what do you do for an enlarged spleen? So this gentleman is 72 years old, and it is 254 at 5'8". He says he doesn't have any other health concerns and he eats carefully.
But he has an enlarged spleen.
But he has an enlarged spleen.
Okay. Now, there could be many reasons for that. It could be something as simple as where he lives, he may have some crazy things going on in the vegetables in the marketplace, and he's eating those vegetables, and his spleen is trying to protect him by building up antibodies and stuff like that. It could be that he is having a breakdown of red blood cells. Okay, the red blood cells, the fragments and everything, get the spleen unhappy. So the spleen is enlarging, trying to find some reason for what's going on. So what we need to do for him is get rid of all the bad stuff. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods, that book, the good food, bad food list. Get rid of all the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, the glutens, the wheat, the barley, rye oats, the sugar, carbonated drinks, buckwheat, no carbonated water. And then at 254 pounds, I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time, and they're going to help support and promote maintenance repair of many, many tissues, including the spleen and the liver and the heart and kidneys and so forth. Then he also needs the collagen peptides, to scoop of that with his morning drink, scoop with his evening drink. I also want him to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those 3 times a day, 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That'll be a couple of bottles a month of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. And they're designed to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the heart, the liver, the kidneys, the lungs, every place. Okay. And so it's very, very important, the brain, to get that blood flowing through there. And that can make the spleen happy also.
So what is the purpose of the spleen, Dr. Wallach?
Well, the spleen is kind of the storehouse of antibodies and extra blood cells in case you get a cut or something like that. And so it has some storage of blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, but also antibodies. And so the spleen is sort of involved with your immune system kind of thing. Okay.
But it's not one of those organs or pieces of the body that they commonly take out, is it?
No, they commonly do not take it out.
Okay. Because I know I had a dog that had a burst spleen, and there was nothing that the veterinarian could do at the emergency hospital to save him. So I was kind of curious about that.
Yeah. Well, it has a big blood supply. So if you have a ruptured spleen, you can bleed to death. That's for sure.
So it's definitely something you want to pay attention to.
You're going to love your spleen.
That's right. Love your spleen, folks. And folks, if you're on live with us and you would like to ask Dr. Wallik a question, please feel free to find that option to raise your virtual hand. You can click on participants or reactions. You'll find it in either place, and it just says raise hand, like Rob has done. Rob, that must be a picture of your fur baby. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Do you have a question for Dr. Wallik today?
Hi, Becca. Yeah, that's King. That's my family. It's family day in Canada here, and he's my special baby, of course. He's the best. So, hi, Doc. Speaking of animals, I have a friend, and she's working in animal services. She's 55 years old, 105 pounds, I think it is, around 100 pounds. She's been suffering from bleeding vocal cords.
This is a she?
Yes, female.
Okay. Now, have they taken swabs of that to look at the cells under the microscope to see if they're cancerous or if there's an infection in there? What's going on?
Has not been any cancer involved. She's presently under therapy, and they're just giving her a few supplements, so-called, like vitamin C and that. So I want to get her onto a higher quality level of nutrification.
And you say she weighs 105?
Yes, around 100, 105, yes.
105, okay. Well, she's get rid of all the bad foods, the good food, bad food list. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, and oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. All that's got to go. And then at 105 pounds, we wanted to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month, a half a dose of everything twice a day. We want her to take the, let's see here, also the MSM 1 bottle a month, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. We also want her to have the, let's see here, collagen peptides, a scoop of that with the morning drink, scoop of that with the evening drink, 2 canisters per month, vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. And I have to ask, do you know, let's see here, did you ask her the question how many times a night she wakes up to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times?
She said it's 1 time a night.
Okay. The reason I'm asking, the vocal cords are controlled by the 9th cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve. And it's not unusual when that glossopharyngeal nerve is being squeezed, okay, you're not swallowing properly, okay, your voice changes, there's all kinds of stuff that goes on in there. You lose your sense of taste and so forth, start chewing on your tongue and so forth. And so it could be osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the 9th cranial nerve involving this, okay? We also need to know, is she a smoker, do you know?
No smoking, no. Her voice is rough.
Changing, okay. Yeah.
So,
she could have osteoporosis. She could have, as an indicator of osteoporosis of the skull. So she needs to get a hold of the book. It's all in your head, along with the CD that goes along with it. It's a set, okay? And then do the nutrition stuff that we just talked about. And let's go there, because if it's osteoporosis of the skull, it's very quickly reversible. Does she have any vertigo or balance problems?
No, she does not.
Doesn't have to use a walker or a cane or anything like that?
No, she's fine in that respect.
Okay, no tinnitus, no ringing in the ears or buzzing or roaring in the ears?
She did not mention tinnitus. There is a slight indication of gray hair, so we know that's a nutrient problem as well, too.
Well, it's not really. Gray hair is not due to aging. Gray hair is due to a nutritional deficiency. And that nutritional deficiency, the same nutritional deficiency, can result in ruptured aneurysms and things like that. So it's kind of a red warning light, okay? When you have gray hair, it is not aging. It's a nutritional deficiency. And so We can, I'd get her on hair, skin, and nails, 2 bottles of that. So she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. The hair color will come back. And the hair color is coming back. Also, that deficiency elsewhere in the body that can result in ruptured aneurysms is getting better. Okay.
Mhm.
The white, gray, and silver hair is a red warning light, like the dashboard of your car. It is not aging.
Yes, great. Thanks, Doc. Ultimate Daily Classic, can we add that to the list as well? I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Throw that in there. It encourages um, easy blood flow, okay, through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys, and so forth. Also supports healthy blood pressure. Is she on any blood pressure medication or diabetes medication?
No, she's not.
Okay, good. Okay, well, keep us informed.
Great. Okay, I will
We'll
do
walk
that.
you guys through this.
Great. Thank you, Doc. And I hope that you get awards for everything you've done, Doc. More awards because you deserve so much.
Well, you're very kind.
Especially from NASA.
Well, just having this big family in the world with so many people, so many languages, I just want to run around hugging everybody because we just love so many people, and that's enough for me. But I have, I did receive the, let's see here, the Klaus Schwarz Award in 2011, which is a biochemical Nobel Prize, okay, kind of thing, for biochemistry, for my discovery of the cause, prevention, and cure of cystic fibrosis, the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy, and the cause and prevention of sudden death syndrome. I got the Klaus Schwarz Award in 2011. And 2015, I also got the Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Nations. Very proud of that. Yeah, on the back of the book, it's all in your head.
Yes, and I hope you're going to be recognized one day. And we should have a Dr. Wallik Day. What do you think, Becca? I think we should definitely have that. Yeah.
Every day is Dr. Wallik Day, Monday through Friday, Rob. Come on now.
Yeah. No. A special, like today's President Day or so, it's Family Day. No, we have to have a special Dr. Wallik Day.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Doc. Thank you, Becca.
Thank you, Rob. Of course, we're going to do that in June, beginning of June.
Yeah.
Will be a Dr.
I like
Wallik Day.
peach ice cream.
Peach ice cream. I will make it myself, Dr.
Woo.
Wallik, to make sure that it is gluten-free and include real peaches. So
you guys are making me hungry now.
Hey, you can come on down. We'll have a big party.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Oh, Doc, one quick note. I think this year, this springtime, I think, Charmaine Murphy will have been with you for 30 years, 30-year anniversary. So, it's just part of the longevity family.
Yeah, is this you're talking about this month or next month?
I think it's in April.
April.
I don't know the exact date. I'll call Char and find the exact date.
Yeah.
But Becca's been with longevity for 7 years now or so.
7 years. Yep.
And look at the transition that Becca's made too. I'm basically following everyone's footsteps at longevity now too, and I'm feeling better than I have in years. So
well, Char,
so thank you very much.
It's very interesting. She's a high school graduate. Okay, she's a high school graduate, and she has businesses with longevity in all 50 states. I think she's in like 12 countries, and she makes more money every month than most general practitioner MDs as a high school graduate.
But we have learned more from you than any other medical doctor in my life. So, and including Charmaine,
well, that makes me happy because that's the whole idea here, is to share the information. And I do not get a paycheck from longevity. Okay, I do not get a paycheck from the company. I set it up that way so nobody can say, well, you're pushing all these things because you make all that money. No, I do not get a paycheck from the company. I set it up that way. And I make my living primarily from selling books and so forth, and getting the information out there. And I don't charge anything for interpreting medical reports and all that kind of stuff, or giving medical advice. I don't charge anybody for medical information. I purposely have done that. And my goal is to get every kid in America to be, one of our longevity reps And that's why we have the book for kids. It's called, let's see here.
Wallach Street for Kids.
Wallik
Yep.
Street for Kids. Instead of Wall Street for Kids, it's Wallach Street for Kids. And that's because during the Second World War, when all the adults were off fighting the war in Europe and Asia, it was the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, the Girl Scouts and Brownies, the 4-Hers, the future farmers of America who are running the country. It's time for them to come out of the shadows, okay, and take over and let's run this country again. And they will make an enormous fortune. They can be a longevity representative with us when they're 12 years old. So their parents sign off on the paperwork. And guess what? By the time they're 13, 14 years old, they'll be making enough money to buy their own car, take a big pressure off the family. They can buy their own car, buy their own clothes, decide what school they're going to go to. And it's called Wallach Street for Kids. It teaches them how to start their longevity business and how to operate it efficiently and how to help other people. Wallach Street for Kids.
You're right. And we need Wallach Street for nursing homes as well too, Doc.
Hey, let's do
You
it.
know, I have that strong advocacy for nursing homes and patients in there now. So I want to keep patients out of there. Okay, Becca, one question before I go. Is the distributor program ready to distribute Dr. Wallach's books yet?
Very close. Very close.
Oh,
We're
okay.
working on an affiliate. It's called an affiliate program, Rob.
Yes.
And with that affiliate program, for those who refer people to or purchase books, they will have their own link that they will then be sharing with people so that they can receive a little thank you check through the affiliate link from Wellness Publications. So something
Gotcha.
to keep an ear out for.
I've been
And-
waiting for so long.
We've not been doing it talking about it for so long,
I've been waiting
So-
for it so long. Yes.
All right.
There you go.
Well, we have more
Thank you.
questions. Thank you so much, Rob.
Thank you.
Dr. Wallik, we only have a few more minutes before you have to go and before Daily with Doc is over. But Astasia is emailing in and she wants to know what to take and eat to recover from triple bypass surgery. So her boyfriend is 64 years old, 150 pounds. Triple bypass, there was a lot of stuff going on. So we don't have any additional information, Dr. Wallik, other than the age and weight. What would you recommend? I don't
64
know.
male, 150
64
pounds.
male. Yes.
Okay, get rid of all the bad foods. That's what got them in trouble. Okay, the fried foods, the processed meats, the oils, the glutens, the wheat, brown, rye, and oats, buckwheat, sugar, carbonated drinks, and including diet drinks and water. Get a hold of that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's the classic good food, bad food list in there. And then you need to take at 150 pounds, 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. Needs to take 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, mixed bone cell, and artery walls, okay, as well, and veins, okay. And then need to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I'd take 3 of those 3 times a day. In this case, 3 times a day would be 3 bottles a month, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. They're going to support and promote healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, support healthy blood pressure, okay, in the brain, the heart, the kidneys. And they didn't say he was on dialysis, so that's a good thing, okay. And so let's see here. If there's no other issues, no high blood pressure, well, that, if there was, that would be dealt with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and also the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. But let's go with all that. And I think staying away from all the bad foods and taking this program we laid out will be very beneficial. But they need to contact us and give us more information.
Absolutely. And folks, if you are listening to this program as live streaming with us or as a replay, and you are not working with a longevity distributor, you may go to dailywithdoc.com, and we do have a store that has all of the products that Dr. Wallik is mentioning. You can also find the replays for our program. So if you missed something, you can go back and listen to it again. But most importantly, if you are working with a longevity distributor or somebody shared this information with you, make sure that you get back with them. Thank them because they cared enough to take the time to share this program with you. And it's very possible that they may have their very own way of ordering, and you want to make sure that you connect with them. Now, Dr. Wallik, we've got just a couple more minutes, and Isaac is writing in. He says, Doc, I have severe pain I can feel in my testicles. It travels up to my abdomen, lower back, and up my spine. Doctors can't find anything wrong with me. I had my gallbladder removed due to this pain, and it has only gotten worse. He's 47 years old, 207 pounds at 5'10". And you're holding up the clue to me that it's osteoporosis of the skull that's causing this pain.
And the skull is squeezing the spinal cord. I want to know how many times he wakes up at night to urinate, once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. I'm sure they did biopsy of his prostate. They're doing all this stuff and they can't find anything. That's because they're looking 6 feet too low. Okay. It's all up here. Okay. It's all in your head. And his skull looks like this, is why he's having all these problems. Okay. And I want to know how many times he urinates at night. Okay. And of course, this is a beautiful project because a year and a half after the book came out, Rebecca and I did a lot of interviews and we got more information. And so until we get the book reprinted, because we still have a few left for it to reprint it, we've got this CD that Rebecca and I did. Okay, so the two together, the book and the CD, it's all in your head, is really a complete story. And this is one of those terrible diseases that have been around a long time, and doctors have missed it for so many years. They're still missing it. They have no earthly idea that you can get osteoporosis of the skull. They think you only get osteoporosis of the hips and the knees because you can get a double hip replacement. You get a double knee replacement. How do you get a double head replacement?
I don't even want a single head replacement, Dr. Wallik.
Okay. Well, all this information is in here. Okay. Yeah, it's 75 years summary of all these things we've accomplished and the details of how to employ that information for your own health. And if you buy 10 of those books, you get a big discount. It's a great investment for your family, your friends, your church, your workmates, your neighbors, the world. That book needs to be in every family. Every person needs to have access to that book, The Wallik Revolution, because it can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. Just think of Jimmy Carter. Okay. I want to be able to talk to his family. So we're working, trying to get some information so we can get to them. Even if we have to send them an email or something like that, we're going to send them some information because I want Jimmy Carter to live to be 200. Okay. Nobel Peace Prize. You got to be kidding me. And he loves milk and dairy and cheese and butter and shellfish and vegetables and corn. No wheat, barley, rye, or oats. His only failing is he does eat saltine crackers once in a while with cheese.
Well, there's a lot of things that we could do that could be very detrimental to our health. And I know you say to keep absolutely no gluten. And I know when I do it, I feel so much better. When I don't, my body tells me.
You will pay a price. If you eat gluten, you will pay a deadly price.
So, and people, you don't realize what the effect something has, how that affects you until you remove it from your diet. At least 21 days?
Yeah, at least a month.
A month. And then you add something back in. It's almost instant. Within that 24 hours that you start feeling, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Because it really does, especially if you've got a digestive system that is compromised, and you take all of that stuff that's causing all this havoc within your digestive system and you get that cleared out of the body, and then you introduce it back into the body's going to say, I don't think so.
Well, I figured that out when I was 9 years old. 20 doctors couldn't figure out what I had. They didn't have a name for it back then. It's Tourette syndrome today. And back then, I mean, I was only 9 years old, but I'm throwing bales of hay and loading wagons and everything like that on the farm. And I'm knocking down adults and just get out of my way, bud, and pushing them down and kicking them and all this kind of stuff. And they were afraid to come after me because I was stronger than them, even though I was only 9 years old. And 20 doctors couldn't figure out. They had psychiatrists and they had pediatricians trying to figure out what was my problem. 20 doctors couldn't figure it out. And they decided to prevent me from killing somebody or killing myself, they were going to put me into a hospital/prison to do studies on me. And so my parents are packing my clothes on a Friday night because they're going to take me to this hospital prison on Monday. And I'm sitting on the end of my bed saying, what is going on here? Why am I suffering like this? Nobody else is. So in the morning, I took my cereal bowl. It was, full of, let's see here, Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions, and I had oatmeal and stuff like that all together. I threw that to the chickens, went to the barn, and I got the actual
the pellets that you fed your
yeah,
animals?
the alfalfa pellets we fed the calves, but we had vitamins and minerals in those alfalfa pellets. And I took them in my breakfast dish, put milk in there. I did that Saturday morning. I did it Sunday morning. I did it Monday morning. By 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, I was cured. After 5 years of suffering and 20 doctors couldn't figure it out, I figured it out in 2.5 days. And that's when I said, okay, these doctors don't know anything. And I began to treat myself following the books we had for animals. And guess what? In school, at church, everybody's whispering and pointing to me because they could tell I was different. Immediately, I was different. I was very nice, and I would sit there and pray with everybody else instead of disruptive and pushing people and things like that. I was totally a different person, and they were noticing it. And this is what got me started in this. And this is all starting in this book here. It goes back, okay, when the time when I was in the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts and all my sports I was involved in and all the military I was in, okay? And it's one of those things where you cannot replace these experiences. This is me in a war zone back in the day. And I retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, okay? And I do have to tell you that this is something that we need to get back to and get the kids involved, and we will be a much better off country for it. Get the kids involved.
We are empowered individuals, everybody. We hope that this program has given you some information to help empower you even more in being able to reclaim your health. I know Dr. Wallik has another program to get to. So Dr. Wallik, thank you again for being with us today. We are just so honored and privileged to be able to make you available to those around the world. Everybody, I want to thank my co-hosts because without them, I would not be able to do this all by myself. This is a team effort. And without my team, I couldn't do this. Absolutely no way. Today we have on with us Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Phyllis Anderson, and Marilyn Pizzera-Spear here to serve you. So if you found this program all on your own, go ahead and call our 800 number, and one of our certified holistic health coaches will be able to assist you in making sure that you get the information that you need to be able to create that different health journey for you. But again, that phone number is only for people who have not spoken to and are not working with a longevity associate. So until next time, bye for now, everybody.